divisibility rules. You may know some of these before, and there's definitely more than just this list, but you might find these are useful when you're trying to do a division. So if you've got an even number, we can see that even numbers are divisible by 2. If the sum of the digits of a number are a multiple of 3, then the number itself is divisible by 3. So an example of that would be 186. If you're trying to check is it divisible by 3, what you can do is add those 3 digits up. So 1 plus 8 plus 6, which is 15. Now 15 is divisible by 3, i.e. it's a multiple of 3. And that means that 186 itself is divisible by 3. And then numbers ending in a 0 or a 5 are always going to be divisible by 5. Numbers ending in a 0 are always divisible by 10. So there's lots of rules you could make up, but there are a few handy ones. Writing numbers as a product of their prime factors. There's no new knowledge you need for this question, although it's definitely a new technique. If you think you know how to do it, you can pause the video now and give it a go. Okay, example 11. Write 154 as a product of its prime factors. So to do that, what you have to do is like a ladder of division, where you divide 154 by a prime number, by a prime factor. So just keep it simple and start off with the smaller numbers that you can easily spot. So I'm going to work with 2. If I divide 154 by 2, I get 77. And then I think what goes into 77? So 2 doesn't go in anymore, 3 doesn't go in, 5 doesn't go in. I can see 7. And I'm just looking at prime numbers. So 7 goes in 11 times. And then what numbers go into 11? Well, the only prime number that goes into 11 is 11 itself. So 154 can be written as 2 times 7 times 11. 2, 7 and 11 are the prime factors which divide into 154. And this is written as a product of prime factors. Product meaning multiplication. So if you did 2 times 7 to get 14 and times it by 11, you'll get 154. So that's 154 written as a product of its prime factors. Example 12. Write 600 as a product of its prime factors using index form. So we can divide through by the smallest prime factor, which is going to be 2. That will get me 300. Now, you don't have to always divide by that same number. You can choose whatever number suits you as long as it's prime. And I can see quite easily 3 goes into that quite nicely without much effort. So we'll get 100. I can divide that by 2, and that gets me 50. I can see the 5 there, so I'm just going to divide through by 5, and that will get me 10. Divide that by 2, which gets me 5. I'm going to divide that by 5, which gets me 1. Now you can do it all different ways, but you should hopefully end up with the same numbers at the end. So when you go to write 600, you'd write it as, and you do it in order, so I was all jumbled up here, but I've got 2 times 2 times 2, so write that down first. 2 times 2 times 2, and then I've got 1 3, and then I have 2 5s. So that, just check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers, so I haven't missed any out. So that's 600 written as a product of its prime factors. Now just check, after you do a question, good exam technique is to check, did you read the whole question? Have you answered the question fully? I haven't in this case. It says to leave my answer in index form. So we can write this in a shorter way. The 2 times 2 at the start could be written as 2 cubed. The 3 just has to stay as it is. There's no other 3's there. But the 5 could be written as 5 squared because we have 5 times 5, which is 5 squared. Okay, so in a question, if it doesn't state, you can just write it out in full. But But if it ever says index form, you must shorten it down using the index form.